Hey, it's Clay Trade, and this will be a video chart on SYNJ Syndication Incorporated. This is a long time chart that's been around a while, very popular. I've lost count of how many times I've done videos on it, but the requests started to pour in today, and now I see why. Huge volume. My guess would be news, some sort of filing. Something happened today that brought in all this volume and had a green day and started showing some signs of improvement. Still work to be done. And basically, the majority of the questions I got were saying, all right, well, we got all this volume, we got a green day, so what needs to happen now going forward? So that's what I'm going to kind of concentrate on here, all short term. Long term, it isn't a downtrend, but what I'm going to do here, because a lot of people are saying, oh, is this the bounce? Is this the bounce? And, maybe, but like I said, there's still other pieces that need to, happen in order for this to be a true bounce. And right now, we just kind of need to make sure that we don't repeat any previous history, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So just to start off, like I said, very above average volume. The only day that really even comes close to this is right here, but you can still clearly see that this day had much higher volume than over here. And you had some decent price action. It would have been terrible if you had this amount of volume, but then you had a red day like this, or something like that. So given the amount of volume, it was good to see that it was green on the day and that the bulls were able to make some progress. Now the question becomes: was this just a one-day wonder, or is there going to be some more strength behind this move? Is there going to be some more push behind it? What we want to avoid, and what everybody needs to kind of make note of and be careful of, is that we don't repeat history like we did right here. We had a nice doji candle here, and then we were followed by 3 up days, and then things just fell back down, and nothing ever came of it. This is what you call a head fake. That it looks like a bounce, but it's really not a bounce. Because remember, bounces turn into reversals, and then reversals break out. This was just a simple head fake, fake bounce, dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a true bounce. It was just a phony one that had no substance behind it. And that's what we want to keep an eye on down here. The key thing that I'm watching is this red line. This is the 10-day simple moving average, and as you can see, the price really hasn't been above it since pretty much back here in early August. Since then, it's just been forcing the price down. We did have this one day here on that fake bounce where it did close above it, but that was very short-lived, as the next day it dropped below it, and from there on out, we've had no closes above it. So that's kind of objective goal, whatever you want to call it. Number one, we want to see some closes above this very annoying line right here that we're calling the 10-day simple moving average. If we can get some closes above there, then that would be a very good sign that maybe this is a true bounce. The reason I say more than one is for the simple reason back here we had this one, and then that was it. So I'd like to see at least 2 or 3 closes above this red line, and if that can happen, then that's when people can start to talk about, oh, this is a bounce, or I think this is a bounce. But until that happens, really, people need to be kind of cautious in terms of if there's any true strength. But if you can get some closes above there, then that's great. The chart's going to be looking bullish, and you will probably get some volume come in just by chart players and traders that are starting to like the chart setup. Right now, I'm sure you set off some volume radars, but there's chart players, I can tell you right now, are gonna be waiting to see how it reacts around this 10-day, because it's just been forcing it down. But don't get me wrong, it was a good day, but they're just going to need to be followed through the rest of this week and next week too, to see if there's any true momentum, true strength behind this volume surge and green price action. So let's say you do get above the red line. Well, what next? What do you want to see happen? Well, the good thing about this chart is you have quite a few moving averages that you can kind of let guide. And the next one after the 10 is simply the orange line here, the 200-day simple moving average. If it can get above there and get closes, it being the price, if the price can get above the 200-day, then that's where I'm 110% behind calling this a bounce, and really confident that this thing's got some real strength behind it. If it closes above the 10-day, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. But if it gets above the 200-day and gets some closes above there, then that's where I'm calling this a full-blown bounce, and will hopefully turn into a reversal. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so we'll just leave it at that, with mission number one being getting closes above the 200 or the 10-day simple moving average. Mission number 2 being getting closes above the 200-day simple moving average. As far as supports, that's pretty simple. The current support right now is at 0005, just based on the previous low. So good start to hopefully what will turn into a bounce, but for the time being, it's a wait and see. So I hope that answered all the questions I got. What's going on with the chart? The short answer in a nutshell would be it's a wait and see, with hopefully that turning into a strong bounce and then eventually a reversal. But one step at a time. Let's just see how see what if there's anything truly behind this. So if you do have any other questions on the chart, please shoot me a message. I'd also encourage you to check out bullmarketnewsletter.net. If you go there and sign up for the newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook. And with the subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, everything from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And the best part is it's no strings attached, all free. So it's worth at least giving a try. One more time, this was SYNJ. Thanks for listening.